by healing ourselves and healing each other, then we're going to change the way that we raise the next
Yeah.
generations to come too. I've known this from even before I got into spirituality. I just had this very awareness. So spirit clearly was, speaking to me, or my higher self was speaking to me many, many years ago, that we come in and we get married with all of our stuff. And if
Mhm.
we don't heal that before we get married, then
Mhm.
that stuff gets triggered and then we transfer it into our children too. We don't mean to. That doesn't make us bad people or anything
Right.
like that. But this is how it goes. But imagine if we're doing the work, then we can become better parents, and there's less of that programming happening and so forth too. So that kids can grow up securely attached to their families,
Mhm.
and then be able to individuate and go out into the world knowing who they are,
Right.
and feeling secure within themselves.
Right.
That solves a whole lot of world problems
A
when that
million
happens.
percent. Well, I think we're
Yeah,
taught that love is something you look for, right? It's not something that you give yourself. It's not something that you kind of set this baseline of loving yourself before you can even think about loving somebody else, right? It's like some
yeah,
real basic stuff, but we don't, we get to teenagers and we're just look, oh my God, I gotta find a girlfriend, or I gotta have a boyfriend, or
right,
it's just not right. It's just not right,
yeah,
right? When you it's hard to put into words, but I feel like when you have experienced self-love and a better way, right? Then you can see it in other people, like, "What are you
right,
doing?" "Why
right.
is this so important to you?" You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah,
you know
yeah. There's two things with that. One is we have to remember that babies are the most dependent of all mammal species,
Mhm,
right? And
mhm,
so they need to be held, they need to be cared for, they need constant connection and attention. That just is. So if we have a mindset, especially in the US, that we're supposed to raise babies to be independent, that's not biologically how they are made and designed and born into this world. And so they
right,
need to form a secure attachment to their parents so that they don't become anxious avoidance like all of us are. And we're
right,
trying to fix and all that, right?
right,
Number two is we do have mirror neurons in our brain. So children are watching everything that happens around them, and they're mimicking it, and they're learning and they're mimicking it. And so they
mhm,
take in everything we say and everything we do. And so the more we can model self-love and teach them self-love, then they'll have the understanding that there's an internal experience happening for them as well. They're not able to articulate that very well at their age. They just travel in and out of all of the
right.
dreams, right?